Alright, anyway, I found the movie Blowout with John Travolta, John Lithgow, and Nancy Allen. It was made in 1981. While recording sound effects for a slasher flick, Jack Carey stumbles upon a real-life horror. A car careening off a bridge and into a river.
1985.
It's the evidence that proves that a car accident was actually murder, and consequently Jack finds himself in danger.
So, it came out in 1985. The running time is 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 26 seconds. And it's Image Entertainment, right? This is just like a great clip. It's a comedy. And it looks to me like I was doing it from afar, but because it's a 2D setup, right?
Yeah, well, you like that kind of thing. So I tried to call you yesterday.
Rehearse.
Now here, John's in the studio working on a film because he's an editor. This is all I'm going to show you in the movie.
So that's the movie I was talking about. Now my friend Poe gave me the
Now this is how they used to edit film in the 80s, right? Things like that, right? They would cut it and splice it together, right?
Yeah, of course they got the full movies. You want to see it on YouTube.
Nationwide support for Governor George McBride and his bid for the party's nomination. If an election were held today, the poll concludes.
Sarah Jessica Parker, Lee Montgomery, Helen Hunt, and Jonathan Silverman. He was the guy who did the Food in Tokyo with the girl. Plot: Jamie is new in town and soon meets Lynn, who shares her passion for dancing in general and CZ in particular. When a competition is announced to find a new dance-season regular couple, Jamie and Lynn are determined to audition. The only problem is that Jamie's father doesn't approve of that kind of thing.
Hey, you, just because I don't like you does not mean I'm not going to do my job. Now give me that tape, I'll send it over to the lab and I'll have it checked out. Alright, look, I want you to look at that film I made for these photographs.
From the photo, I was doing like this in front of her breasts, but not actually touching them. Now the thing about a TV photo is it's called an illusion when that happens, right? Let me see if I can find it.
Well, listen, what do you think? I mean, the guy's driving along and all of a sudden he has a blowout.
It wasn't a blowout, Manny. Somebody shot out the tire.
What the hell are you talking about, huh? How do you know that?
I know. I just know. Who was it?
It was nobody.
Come on, Manny. Just level with me.
All right, this nut, he calls me a couple of weeks weeks ago, and he says he's working for some candidate. Some candidate that's interested in getting McBrien out of the race, huh? Sounds like the normal joke, right? He says he's heard all about our fine divorce work, and he offers me $6 grand.
6? You told me 3.
Yeah, well, 3 before and 3 after.
So when are we gonna tell me about the 3 after?
After I collected it, what do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
Here's the trailer for it. I can show you that. Might probably show you. I want to show you.
It began with a sound that no one was ever supposed to hear. Is what I saw? Yes, he says he pulled a girl out of the car. I would like you to forget about her.
Yeah, that's what I heard just before the tire blew out. You're right, it was a shot.
He recorded a murder. They say it never happened.
There's still loose ends, weaknesses. The girl, I've decided to terminate her. Terminate her. Terminate her.
The Minnesota DFL party. Party that the chairman invoked at the beginning of this hearing. Charter schools are not an issue here. Minnesota is
That's John Lithgow, and that's John Travolta.
There are 37 states in this country.
That's Nancy Allen.
Brian De Palma's blowout. Now you hear it.
Now this is just Al Franken questioning Betsy DeVos on proficiency versus growth. That's an ABC News.
Here's another trailer. That's also Sound Boom, or a smaller one, but they had one when they did SCAD with me, right? Savannah College of Art and Design. Now, one scene they did show him working in the studio, so I was trying to look for him, but
He says he pulled a girl out of the car. I would like you to forget about her.
Yeah, that's what I heard just before the tire blew out. You're right, it was a shot.
He recorded a murder. They say it never happened.
Washington now, where Republicans see big steps forward on their tax cut plans.
now he's using a reel to reel there, right? To record the. Well, he's recording that now, right? That's John Lithgow. If he sees back, right? Nancy Allen. John Travolta. Nancy Allen. Lithgow. Travolta. Travolta. Lithgow.
I have to do this a different way.
Brian De Palma's blowout.
And it was directed by Brian De Palma.
Now me and Tom. You can actually see what I'm saying about the FedEx part. Now this one here can go full screen, so I can show the photo better.
Hello there. Do you want to watch your movie? Welcome to Geneflix21.com. Unlimited movie online in HD quality. Now, visit an official movie website.
Here it is. Now, this still ain't the full movie, it's just a clip from it, right? That's why it's a little more fun, you can't really.
Sexual misconduct. Tonight, the president is now weighing in, blasting Senator Al Franken. Washington now, when Republicans say big
There it is, there it is. This is where it needs editing, right? See all that equipment? Alright. That's a film splicer, I think. That's what they call it. There he's spliced in the film, right.
Alright.
Now, I think he had the camera and the mic as well. Now, I enjoyed the movie. It was a pretty cool movie. See what I mean about rewinding the film as well?
Now, here's the thing, right? Now, since this is a 2D photo, there's that, right? It's hard to tell if he's actually making real contact or not, right? But you have to look at the photo itself, right? Now, what gives it away is his pinky, right? Finger. Or maybe it might be the second finger to the end, right? Now, if you look at the finger right here on the photo, even though it appears that he's touching her, he actually is not. And the thing is, it's a 2D photo. And it is taken while she's asleep. I admit that, right? But there's no proof he actually.
Now, the thing is, when you're editing something, you can tell if it's real or edited, right? And again, in 1994, like I said, I'd be sleeping on the couch, and my wife and stepdaughter would be in the bedroom, right? And all I'm doing was this hypotheticals, period, right? These are not supposed to be real things the government would actually do to this type of veteran with paralyzed schizophrenia. Who developed it a year before he even met the child, right? Because that would be what? Endangerment of the child too. Right. Not on my part, but the mother and the government part. Right. There too. Now, if there was no reasonable expectation for the child to go in there to me at all, and I had a reasonable expectation to sleep on the couch, apart from them until morning, and she came in there to me anyway, who would it be on? First two, Daphne. Then who? The child herself. Can say what? No. When do you learn the word no? 2 or so, right? What is the child's favorite word at 2 years old? No. So the child couldn't say no? Yes. See what I mean? Tape or no tape? Now the thing is, there's not supposed to be a
So
tape
this is
period,
the
right?
females.
Cause what? That would be not just
ABC. Good. ABC
Illegal.
America.
or invading my privacy. It would also be criminal government behavior, right? Because what? They're not showing it to me or my wife, or they already showed it to her and she's disputing it herself, right? That's the point there too, right? The thing is though, all photos are 2D, right? Even in the movie, right? There's no such thing as a 3D photo, right? And the thing is, no matter what you do with the
Alright,
film,
this here is a standard 2D photo, right?
when someone brings a charge to a prosecutor, right? That film cannot be edited. Can't be in a loop. No. Nothing like that either. And the charge has to be brought forward the only night it could happen between Thursday night and Monday morning if I was living with my wife in that apartment at the time, and if she was to come in there to me at all. Now I know my responsibility as an adult is what? Whatever happens between me and the child, I have to ask certain questions no matter what the child lets me do or does not, right? Now if they let me undress them and I'm a stranger to them, that's all I'm seeing if they'll let me do it first, right? If I appear to be licking them, but I really do not, I'm seeing if she'll let me do something a little bit unusual, but again, it's not a harmful thing to the child at all either. And then if I get undressed myself, I'm seeing if she's seen the person, male, like me, naked, to a point too, and that's not, again, to have sex with her at all. That's to see if she's comfortable with nudity, right? At her age. It's not unusual, any of that, right? But what is unusual is what? Her to say grandma. If I did both those things in one shot, right? Now, only a male can coach a female with a penis like mine to say, Grandma, showed her that. In one shot. Who had access to the child before I even met her. If I'm supposed to be making up the story, my wife is supposed to be asleep and the girl with her, and I'm sleeping on the couch alone in a separate part of the house, and I'm just putting together a plausible story based upon what I remember about the apartment itself, where I was sleeping and things like that, right? Anything is possible when you're asleep. That's the point there too, right? But when you're awake, what happens, right? You try to figure out what's going on around you immediately, right? So you find a child in there with you or something. What is it your primary job if you find a child who's in there with you suddenly and you know she's not supposed to be in there with you at all? What is the first thought that's going to come to your mind? And she's just sort of standing there watching you, but not really doing anything. But then you walk over there to her and she comes over there to you, right? At the same time. Hypothetically, that's still, right? And again, what is your responsibility there if you're not sure what's going on yourself and you're just trying to test the child what they will or won't let you do, right? For reasons. Now, mine's supposed to be hypothetical, not because I said so, but because my wife said so, right? She's technically the only one who can say it happened or not legally. Why? Because I'm diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. I might even have bipolar disorder or something of that nature. Now, bipolar also means I can go temporary insane and then snap back to reality within less than a minute or two too, right? If anything I'm doing is within those guidelines, right? There's a real reason behind it, right? Not sex, like they might view it, but to see if she would let me somewhat do something I'm not supposed to do and not say no in the process, Am I doing it for my own reasons or to protect the child in case she's being abused herself? Myself being exposed to that growing up myself, right? What's the difference between the two? How I actually interact with the child and when I stop and stuff like that too, right? That's how you know if the person is really sexually into the child or testing the child if she was coached or not as well, right? But this is supposed to be what? A hypothetical, because that happened in 1994, sometime between August 19th on to the, no more than the 26th, and I moved back to base by then, right? And I was on base 3 weeks before I fell, right? Not only if while being transferred to the ER, they asked me about my wife or stepdaughter, would anyone else even know about it, or if somehow I landed the fall and they attacked me and we got into an argument about it, right? But other than that, no one but me and my wife at that time. Only 3 in the apartment and the child. And 2 of us are supposed to be incapable of understanding what we're doing, but one is not, the wife. One of us was dealing with a mental illness because he had a psychological break on his ship, right? That can be proven, right? What cannot be proven is when they're saying I was schizophrenic before I joined the Navy, right? Because there's no hospitalization for schizophrenia at all my whole life until 1993. Now, I did have a dream, and I did think that the dream might have something to do with the 2 witnesses. And I told Pastor Thomas God spoke to me and told me I was one of the 2 witnesses through the dream and read it in the book of Revelations itself, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And in my mind, the dream, since it was the throne of God itself and the light hovered above the throne, I was standing before the throne of God in heaven, right? Now, what does Jesus say? What does John say as about Jesus being the light of the world? Read it. Jesus says we are also what? The light of the world. The light of the world. The light, what? Shines in the darkness. But what? The darkness does not comprehend it. As well. Whoa. In him was life, and the life was the light of men, and the light abideth in darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, not of the will of man, but of God. For the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bare witness of him, and cried, saying, This was he of whom I spoke. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have all we received, and grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. No man hath seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him. And this is the record of John. When the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, Who art thou? Now, I did not see a form but the light, right? And Jesus is the light and from the light, right? So that's why I assumed when I saw the throne with the light hovering above it, as if in a mist or a cloud, I was standing before the Father God of heaven, even though the teacher did not believe me when I told her I had the dream, right? And asked me if I hadn't eaten anything unusual, been reading the Bible a lot, right? Which is fine. Maybe she had a screw loose herself, I don't know. Or didn't want to deal with my reality of having such a dream, I don't know. But again, that would also cause me to what, after I told her? Try to figure it out for myself as a young boy at 12, 13 years old, right? Now then, when I was 14, of course, I read what? Book of Revelations. I got to chapter 11, the 4th verse, and would that not stick out in my head? These are the 2 olive trees, and the 2 candlesticks, what? Standing before who? The God of the what? Earth. Now, what does Jesus say about heaven? Heaven is what? My throne. And the earth is what? My footstool. Right? So, in the dream, I saw the light hovering above the throne, and a mist like a cloud, me standing in front of the throne. What happened there? You were standing before the God of the earth. Right. So that verse would make me think I was what? One of the 2 witnesses. Right. Alone. That's the point. Thank you. Have a nice day.